Hi there. So the Insta360 One RS has arrived start of this year, and if you wonder why I seem to be a bit late on the game, is that obviously Insta360 has not sent me this. I had to buy this myself, and FedEx then managed to get it stuck in a industrial dispute in Belgium for 2 weeks. So I was waiting extra long. And then I obviously also needed a bit of time for a bit thorough testing. The One RS is the second generation of Insta360's modular action camera, and it marks some really nice improvements. And the good news is that if you already have an Insta360 One R, you don't need to buy the whole package. You can buy the core module on its own, or what I would recommend is I bought the Insta360 One RS Boost 4K pack, so the pack that only has the Boost 4K module, because the Boost 4K module comes with a nice set of upgrades that shouldn't really be passed. Let's have a look first of all where they made the changes, because there's quite a few bits that have been improved. So if you take the Insta360 One R, one of the things that always was very annoying was the case. And so you have this, and you need the case to get it waterproof. So it's waterproof up to 15 foot, but not without the case. You see, so you open this up, flip this open. With the 4K module, it's okay, it's not great, but give you an idea, if you use the 1-inch module, so we go here, take this off. This is obviously the great thing about the Insta360 One R and One RS, the whole concept that you can change between different lens modules. You click this in here, that won't close. So you had to go and you had to screw the front cap off. Now you can close it. Now you can screw it back on. Basically risk getting dirt in. And now you can clip this in. Okay, fine. And now you want to remove it again. Same thing. Screw the front lens off. Open the cage. And screw the front cap back on again. Now, a solution if you didn't need waterproof was and a bit more rugged, was the Smallrig cage, which easy. And you'd get two cold shoe mounts. You'd like little nifty ears down here, and you would have a 1/4 inch mount for the selfie stick, which I actually forgot. Now the upgrade, we'll get to that. Okay, take this out again. Put this aside. This shows how much pain in the bottom that is. So here comes the Insta360 One RS, and what they've done is they've basically taken a page out of Smallrig's book, and the new case opens to the side. And the same as with the Smallrig cage, boom, no taking off the lens, fits straight, very easy to deal with, great. The other thing this provides is extra cooling for the camera. The camera gets a little bit hotter than the previous model. So that's a good thing. And they've done another thing, and that's there's a new accessory, which is the, let's have a look here, which is a little cold shoe, and you can mount this on the top here. We just let's have a look here. We click this in here, click. Now you even have a cold shoe on that. And I know there was other cases of these that had a cold shoe, but I've actually never bothered getting that because I went with the Smallrig one. I wasn't going to dive with it anyhow. But they thought even more about this, because when you look at this, take this off. If you look at the top here, that's the same fitment that's on top of the 4K boost module and the 4K wide angle module, and also on top of the 1-inch module. It's not, the 360 module doesn't have this. The 360 module has nothing on the top, it only has it on the bottom, and that's because you don't turn this around. It's like whatever. But so even if you operate the camera, let's say with the boosted battery, and here's the thing, the One RS is compatible with all previous accessories, no exception, apart from the audio module maybe. I haven't actually tested that. So now we have the boosted battery on this with its little flaps, right? And you wouldn't put it in a cage. You don't have a cage that will fit, but your cold shoe mount still fits on top of the camera. So that little accessory, that's actually really, really, really brilliant. It uses the same clips as the batteries, and that means you can clip it on with or without the cage or anything. So that's just for the niftiness of the new modes. So with the 4K boost module that we got, clip this back together. The only downside is that the front lens isn't replaceable. So if you crack this, you need a new module, or you need to send it back for repairs. That's pretty much the only downside. With the One RS, we now get flow state stabilization in camera. So previously, with the Insta360 cameras, with the One RS, with the X, with the X2, the way it works is that you record your footage, and then you run it through the Insta360 app or the Insta360 Studio desktop software to get the stabilization applied, which made an extra step in the workflow, but still that was not the worst thing that could happen. So, and you can then decide if you wanted the stabilization or not. With the One RS, you get the flow state stabilization, and you can choose if you want to use it in Pro mode, which is the original mode, or you want to record with the stabilization applied in camera. So that basically takes one step away, and that's great. The other thing that the Boost 4K module brings is it brings HDR in video, which is really, really good. You don't get any log profiles in HDR for obvious reasons, but yeah, the colors are really, really good, and I will have some samples how that looks. And the other thing is you get the Cinema 6K mode, which is very nice too. So the footage that comes out of this new lens is really fantastic. The other thing that we got was that with the 1-inch module, on the original 1R, the 1-inch module was recording 5.3K. That mode has gone away with the One RS, and what they've given us instead is a 5.4K cinema mode, so the same form factor as what's in the 4K lens. The other thing we now get, like this is a 1/2 inch sensor. That wasn't even a smaller sensor, I can't remember what it is now. The 1 inch module, which is a 1 inch sensor, has now webcam mode. Webcam mode is now working on this, and that makes it for a really good high quality webcam that actually performs pretty well in low light. So that's another addition that we've got. So pretty nifty. Beyond that, not much has changed with the 360 module and the 1 inch module. So everything is basically, you get the same as you had before, apart from that you now have stabilization in the camera. The streaming capabilities are still limited to the 360 module. So you have the 360 streaming, or you have the portrait letterbox streaming, where you can frame it as you want yourself. We have actually asked Insta360 if we could get stabilization enabled for webcam mode, because it would actually make it possible to use the camera with the 4K module or the 1 inch module for streaming with an external encoder, like the TBS 2603 AU or Bella Box, or anything that will take a USB interface. So we'll get to that at some point and see if they are going to add that. So that's the one thing that we got that was new. And then Insta360 took a step up. So the original USB audio module, if you wanted to add an external audio device, so a microphone or wireless microphone or something, you could plug this in, but you couldn't charge the camera at the same time, and that was a bit of a pain. So for the Insta360 One RS, there's a new audio module, and that looks like this. And what they've done is there's the audio output, audio input on the top, and then on the bottom is a USB-C port so you can charge. So the way this works now is that you pull the little cover off, and you plug this in, and you can charge your camera while you have a microphone attached to it. And with your cold shoe mount, you could even mount it up here. That's one thing. And it fits in the case. Obviously not with a boosted battery. One thing to note is the Insta360 One RS comes with a bigger battery. I think there's about 5% extra, something like that. And that means with this battery, it won't fit in the Smallrig cage, and it won't fit in the previous cage. And with the original battery, it will sit loose in the new cage. So you have to use the new battery for the new cage. However, you can use all the batteries on the Insta360 One RS. So if you use the old batteries, you can still fit it in the Smallrig cage. There's no problems there. So that's great. So anyhow, it's in the cage. Microphone still fits, there's enough leeway. And then if we do the test, and we take it out, and as I say, I have to take the new battery off here. Besides, I'm leaving links down below for the options if you want to upgrade, and you just want the core module, or you just want the simple module where you just get the new cage, the battery, the new battery, the boost 4K module, and the new core. I leave links for that down below, so we'll stick this in here. And that's the only downside. It will not fit in the Smallrig cage. There is not enough space here. It's a bit sad. Smallrig might fix this, hopefully. Obviously the old audio module fits, so that's a bit of a bummer. So let's see here. Okay, Now, next things next is obviously most people that have had an Insta360 camera or have seen them are aware of Insta360's invisible selfie stick. This is the normal one, so that goes like this, and then you'd that's the size it comes out to. And Insta360 then had the longer version, which is this one, and there's no twisting anymore to lock it in, so this is a decent, respectable size. But they made this monster one, and this is basically 3 meters long when extended. And what they've done is pretty smart. They put it into 3 sections. So there's a 3 meter section, a 2 meter 40 section, and 1 meter 20 section. And you just pull it out to the length that you want. Actually, you hold it here. So you have it out to this length, and you hold it here. And now we are way out of the camera. And I haven't even gone to the 3 meter section. There was another one like this from Tillison that I had previously. Compacted, it would be longer than this. I have that. It doesn't really matter. The issue I had with the Tillison was that it always fell apart in the joints. The quality of it wasn't great, so I wouldn't recommend this. The quality of this, and it seemingly is made by Sirui for Insta360. Sirui is known for anamorphic lenses and stuff like that. And the quality of this one is really, really good. And like once you pull it out, there's no locking in, it just works. So, and this is still an invisible selfie stick, even at this size. So well done, Insta360. This is basically your opportunity to capture drone-like shots without having a drone. So really, really great accessory. Besides this bag here, I'll put a link below to this. This is something I picked up. It's really, really neat, and it does fit the new cage also. So if you go and see here, so I have my lenses here, so we go and we put all of this back together. What I do is, in this case, that's the boost 4K. So when I pack my camera away, I always put the display to the front with the lens, and the reason for that is, show you now, not without the battery. Okay, take the foot off. The reason for that is when you put it down like this, it's well protected. And as you can see, like with the old one, I'll do this, just show the comparison. This case was designed for the One RS, for the One R. Take this. Oh, same thing. And yeah, it just shows this. This case is just, it is an annoyance. As you see, originally designed for the original one, but matter of fact is because of the section here on the top that now is removed and that was added in the battery instead. The size, the overall size of these two is actually the exact same, so it fits. And it has a nice cutout just for the 1-inch lens here, and it has a nice cutout. Now my cover for my 360 lens doesn't fit quite as snug as it should, and it's because I have the lens protectors on here. And trust me, you want these because the 360 module is quite fragile. Anything that falls into gravel and you scratch your lenses, so that can get costly quickly. So we have this, and that fits nicely in here. And then I found that if I only carry the small selfie stick in here. Then I have enough space for the boosted battery up here, because there's none of these that really fits for it. And you have your little mount and the screw and the audio module, and you can stick the cold shoe in here also, and fits here somewhere. Just, yeah, great. And I carry a Peak Design POV plate with me also, which is handy when you want to mount the Insta360 One R, One RS on a tripod with an Aka Swiss shoe. There is obviously the Insta360 tripod, goes underneath your selfie stick. And then I have 2 extra batteries here and the dual charger. And these are all, the majority of these accessories, these are all from the One R, coming back from that. On top of that, you have then a compartment up here for your cables. And I even managed to stick in 2 cases with filters. So there's freewheel filters for the 360 module. These can be bought on the Insta360 website in the store. And these are ND filters. I need to check what grade they are. And there are 3 grades of ND filters from Freewheel again for the 1-inch module. So there's an 8, a 16 and a 32 that you can screw up on the front. Again, they are from Insta360. They are the official ones, and they're made by Freewheel. So quality Freewheel is usually really good. Well recommended. And I can just about fit them up here on the top. And the case gets a bit tight, but I get everything in here. So see here, close this, and then my Android sync cable goes in here too. There we go. So if I push this all the way up to the side, doesn't interfere with the 360 lens. Close this up, and this becomes really neat carrying case with everything that you need in it, apart from bigger selfie sticks. So that's what that is. So yeah, let's go and have a look at some footage differences. And I'll put this little cover. Oh yeah, and then putting the cover back in again. It's like, especially when it's in the case, it's always a pain. So back. Yeah, so let's go and let's have a look at what has been improved with the Insta360 One RS, with the new modes, HDR mode, 4K boost module, the 6K cinema mode, the 5.4K cinema mode, and the 1-inch module, which is really neat. All in all, my verdict is, if you already have a One R, my recommendation was buy the One RS 4K module, the pack with the battery, the case, and the 4K boost module. If you just want to upgrade the core, you're not interested in a new 4K module, let's say you want to use the 1-inch module and just use the new functionality like the 5.4K cinema and the webcam functionalities, you can buy the core on its own, no problem there. To use the new case, you need the new battery. If you have the Smallrig case, then you don't really need any of that. So yeah, the core on its own made sense. I looked at the pricing. If you buy the 4K boost module and the core, you as well of buying the whole kit with the battery and the case. That it comes price wise down to the same thing. If you just want the core, then it's definitely feasible to buy just the core. Now, if you don't have an action camera to begin with, why should you choose this camera over anything else that's out on the market? The downside of Insta360 is that it doesn't do the high frame rates that other cameras do. So the Insta360 One RS still won't do 120 FPS recording. It will do 4K 60 with the 4K boost module. It will do 6K cinema 25 FPS, I think it is. I'll put a comment down here below, and then it will do 4K 30 or 25 with the camera set to post-processing, so if you don't apply flow state in the camera. Either way, let's get on with the sample footages, and we'll take it from there. So apologies for such a long drawn video, but I didn't feel like I could split this up in any other way. There will be separate videos for streaming and for webcam features, so they will be coming in the next couple of weeks. As you can see, the footage is all taken with log wherever possible. Active HDR obviously doesn't apply to log. I have then used Insta360's own LUTs for the One R. There is no One RS LUTs yet, but it's a clear indication of how much better that 48 megapixel sensor is in the 4K boost module. And it's even fantastic how much they managed to squeeze out of that 1-inch sensor in the 1-inch module. I haven't included any 360 footage because there isn't really that much that has changed there. So it didn't make any sense, also because I can't really make a good representation of the 360 footage here in a normal video, but I will upload a separate 360 video that sort of shows as a sample, and I'll link that at a later point. Thanks for today, and we'll see you in another one. Bye.